Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel for another plan with me. This week I am doing June 19th through the 25th using this Glam planner kit called Girl Boss. I just showed this off in a haul with a bunch of other things, so I'll link that down below in case you haven't seen it already. But yeah. So I'm first starting by putting my full boxes in the middle, the checklist on the top, my headers and body washi as usual. This week is a not so busy week, fortunately enough. After the last few weeks I've had, I'm actually kind of thankful for having a less busy week. I do have a bachelorette party this weekend, which is why I picked this kit because I thought it would go perfectly for it. So this past weekend I had another Dungeons and Dragons session, or D&D session for short. Since I relayed my last session a few Plan With Me's ago, I figured I would kind of continue the story and say what happened with my character's parents. So if you didn't watch my last Plan With Me, basically my character's parents were wrongfully imprisoned for a crime they did not commit, and one of my character's long-term goals was to find them and free them. So we found out last session that they were in a local jail being held by this guy I thought I had killed in self-defense many years ago. Well, I actually did kill him. He has come back as a vampire. But we went to the jail last session and we tried to free them, but unfortunately they were taken to another location, and that's where we had to go today. So at the beginning of the session, my DM tells me that my spell book, something weird is happening. I'm a wizard, by the way, so I live and breathe by my spell book. And he says, like, at the beginning of this book, there's like this spell that says like to destroy enemies, but it's like indecipherable. I can't read it. And I'm like, what the hell is this? Just like, I don't get it. But anyway, so I'm trying to figure out what this spell is. But the way my spell book works is that it has this ability where every dawn I can cast a spell that's in the book without using a spell slot. So I knew I could cast this spell, I just didn't know what the hell it did. But yeah, so as we go throughout the session and I'm trying to figure out what's with this book, we went to a swamp that was like covered by an illusion and we had to kill some enemies. I almost did a really cool counter spell, but unfortunately I did not roll high enough. I was rolling like crap all day. And it would have been really cool too because like someone tried to counterspell my counterspell and they failed. And if I had succeeded, it would have just oh, anyway, we all took like 40 points of damage when I failed my counterspell, and I was like, oh my god, I'm almost dead. But anyway, so we succeeded in killing those guys. We killed some like wolves or hounds outside Bran's house, which is the vampire. We went inside. There was like some questions we had to answer. That was kind of like a quiz, and every time we answered wrong, we would take damage. So that was fun. But then we got to the final boss room eventually, and this is where Bran was with my parents. And it turned out he had turned them into vampires. And so right away I was like, oh my god, no. But then Bran tells my parents to kill me. Like, go straight for me, ignore everyone else. And so I, like, having my knowledge of what was the spell in the book, it was like the second I had the chance to, I knew I had to use it on Bran. But one of the characters in our guild, she has an anti-magic necklace, so if she's within 5 feet of someone, I can't attack them because I'm a wizard and all I have are ranged spells. So initially she was right beside Bran, and there was no way for me to actually attack him, but it didn't really matter because I was basically trying to survive. Because my parents were like hitting me with melee attacks, and I have absolutely no armor, anything, and my health is really low, so I knew I couldn't last that long. So I cast Fire Shield on myself so I could at least do 2d8 damage when I got hit, and I was planning on casting Haste if I didn't have the chance to hit Bran. But luckily, by the time I got to my next turn, my next turn after casting Fire Shield, Bran had gotten away from the character with the anti-magic necklace, and I was able to cast the spell on him, and it was so OP. It was like a 6th level spell cast as a 9th level spell, and I had to roll 19d6. So for like I had the chance of doing 114 damage. But I rolled really low again and I only did 60 damage, but because of the way the spell worked, it added like an extra 40 points. So I did 100 points of damage in one move. That was so sweet. But then next move, next move was my character's father, and he actually hit me unconscious. And then after that, my character's mom hit me, and I actually died. Like, no, I think it was my character's mom hit me first, and then my character's dad hit me, and I died. I am officially the first person in our guild to die after running this D&D campaign for the past year. We've had lots of close calls, but my character was the first to actually die. And I think he's a monk? God. Cleric in our group. He had Revivify. And the way Revivify works is you have 1 minute from when the person dies to bring them back to life. And a round in D&D lasts about 6 seconds, so they had 10 rounds to kill Bran and bring him back to life. Which, fortunately, after doing all that damage to him, it was quite easy, and they killed him in about 1 to 2 rounds and brought me back to life, and everything was all good. My parents stopped trying to kill me. They were broken free from the spell, but they were vampires now. Which is cool and all, because they had these like rings on them, which allowed them to go out in daylight. So now I'm thinking that we can have them work at our guild hall or something like that. But yeah, that's like my character's storyline, like done. It's actually quite sweet, and the arc and kind of the ups and downs of my character's story in the last 2 sessions was like so sweet and just like the perfect way for it to have happened. And yeah, that's about it for what happened in D&D last session. If you looked in my sidebar, I actually just wrote down Animal Crossing. I just, this past weekend, also restarted my Animal Crossing New Leaf Town. I spent a lot of time on my old file, but after a certain character moved away, I just kind of lost the will to play. Her name was Sprinkle, by the way, in case any of you know who I'm referring to. And so I started this new file. I have this like money saved in the bank, and it's just, I'm really excited to like rebuild my town, and this time I have a new theme going on, and I try to make it all futuristic, spacey, and it's a lot of fun. I really like that game. I don't know if any of you guys have played it before, but like it's one of those things where the more time and effort you put into it and going back to it every day, like it kind of shows over time. It's not a quick satisfaction game at all. But yeah, I'll talk about that more probably in my next Man With Me. And yeah, that's about it. This is my week in full. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like it and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys next week. Thanks for watching. Bye!